Today's a special day that only happens once a year. Today's the winter solstice. That means that the Earth's axis is tilted 23.5 degrees relative to its orbit. And on December 21st, Earth will be at the point in its orbit when the North Pole is tilted at its maximum away from the sun. This means that today is the shortest day of the year. And for me, sometimes feels even shorter. Because 29 years ago today, my grandpa was driving my mom and myself, and he had a heart attack while driving. I don't have many memories during that time, but I do remember the scraping of the car as we crashed into the guardrail. My mom took control over the steering wheel, and she kept us safe. But my grandpa was gone, just that quick. There's never a good time to see a loved one go. But in his passing, it was clear that he'd lived a good life, a meaningful life, and a life of faith. He was a cowboy and always had an eye for adventure and doing things that no one else could do. There was no horse he couldn't ride. There was no circumstance he wouldn't charge into, and no difficulty he could not overcome. And maybe it's these characteristics that turned him into such a force for the kingdom of God. My grandpa only knew one way to do something, and that was total commitment and going all in. When he said yes to Jesus, he said yes to committing every conversation and every moment to the Lord. It's his strong commitment to the Lord that reminds me of Hebrews 12, verses 1 through 2, which says, "Therefore, since we're surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangled, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us." What a powerful passage we encounter there. This passage brings to light a few key points for me. It challenges the reader to remove burdens, or more exactly, to get rid of weight, which will slow down or stop the runner from finishing the race. It also challenges the reader to run with endurance, or stated differently, to persevere. When trials, difficulties, and darkness manifest themselves, we're encouraged to persevere. Our perseverance connects back to the great cloud of witnesses because we are able to look at those strong men and women of faith and take comfort in the reality that they not only persevered, but they also received the reward of heaven. As I consider this passage and reflect back on my grandpa, I'm so thankful that he's a part of the great cloud of witnesses in my life. He was one of the toughest, bravest, and most inspiring people I have ever known. Because of his example, I want to get rid of the weight of sin in my life and persevere through the trials and difficulties I'm in the midst of, so that I may join him one day in heaven. What about you? On today, the shortest day of the year, who in your life makes the day seem longer because of their love, passion, joy, and faith? And how will you choose to live differently because of their impact? I want to encourage you to call them up right now and let them know about that. You can also share their name and the difference they've had in your life below here in the comments, so we can all be blessed by the life of faith they are living or have lived. Happy winter solstice, Grandpa. Thanks for leaving me a legacy to live up to.